welcome Shri Ashwini Vaishnaw, Union Minister for Railways, Information and Broadcasting, Electronics and IT, in conversation with Bodhisattva Ganguly and Chandra Shrikant for a session on Built in India, trending globally.
So globally they talk about AI diffusion. Here AI diffusion has happened at the level of 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds. So I think we are safe.
Of course. AI diffusion in India is among the, if you look at all the economies which are comparable, we have probably the highest diffusion rate, both in the consumer sector as well as in the enterprise sector. And that is actually giving us a big strength because our IT sector, of course, there is a lot of, at this point of time, the sector needs to understand how they will pivot fully, but they are pivoting very rapidly towards providing AI services. And in the consumer sector, lots and lots of new creators are coming up. So diffusion, of course, is very important and it's happening.
One point, though, which people make is that India is still largely a consumer of AI and is not, for example, making large language models and so on and so forth. I mean, that's one criticism or slight negativity which comes up when one talks about India and AI.
So there are two different things here. First is, of course, the summit was very well received and very well recognized globally. The format of the summit was more on the World Economic Forum format, Davos format, where we had about 700 plus sessions where our students, they got an opportunity to listen to people like Nobel laureate Demis Hassabis, people like Dario, people like Sam Altman, people like Sundar Pichai. They got that opportunity to interact with the top AI brains in the entire world. So it was designed in a way that our young generation, I call it Generation Bharat, Gen Bharat. So the Gen Bharat basically gets the opportunity to create their future in the way they want it. That was the whole theme of this.
IT laws, in your DNP address, you also spoke about how the nature of internet itself has changed and how we are grappling with a completely new internet. So, we know that the government was working on a digital India bill. Is there a need for a complete overhaul of IT laws? And lastly, will India follow in Australia and France's footsteps in age-gating social media platforms, restricting social media for people under 16? What has been decided there?
See, in the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, we created a totally new template for the world, which is recognized everywhere. So many ministers have told me across the world they would like to have this as the template rather than the European template with the GDPR template, which is very prescriptive, which is very, very cumbersome, and it basically doesn't have any scope for innovation to come up. We wanted innovation, pro-innovation, but simultaneously the safety of citizens is very important. So we wanted to balance that, and the same approach we'll follow in our current thought process. The nature of internet has actually changed. Internet, when we were students, and the way in the last few decades, actually in the last 10 years, 15 years, the nature of internet had substantially changed. Platforms are the primary mode through which every kind of content, whether it is news or music or films or every content is basically today disseminated using the platforms. So therefore, it's very important that we take the right measures for one, protecting our children, two, the social institutions which are there, the institutions of family, the institutions in our society, the judiciary, the way our parliament functions, the way our constitution has created the institutions, they all have to be protected and strengthened so that the society remains harmonious. So deepfakes, or rather any synthetic content, somebody's synthetic, somebody's personality used to create some synthetic content, there has to be a consent of that person. So those constructs are today very important. There are so many misleading advertisements on the social media. There are issues about cybercrime. We have seen so many issues of cyber fraud and cybercrime where especially the people who are retired, they are basically digitally arrested and the bank accounts are kind of taken control of. Those things have to be controlled. Those things have to be checked. So that is where the role of the social media platforms and all other intermediaries has to become very important. We have seen how things, the rumors spread so rapidly. So it's very important that those guardrails in the society are put in place at this point of time before the problem becomes too big, and we are very closely interacting with the industry. Platforms have shown a lot of appreciation for this approach.
No, thank you very much, sir. This was an amazing session.